Hello everyone, thank you so much for coming back to my channel. It's Joanna. These are going to be your messages for the month of December 2018. I'm going to make this very quick because I myself don't like long intros. Please remember that these are general messages. My intent is to give you something to think about, something to look at from a different perspective in order to help you gain clarity and ultimately that you can become a more empowered you. So rather than focusing on predictions, I am focusing on what may come up for you in the month of December and how some of these situations will allow you to see certain things and perhaps to create certain things for yourself that you have not been able to before. So I always intend on giving you as much information as I can in order to help you evolve. And how you take that information and how you apply it, or if you even consider it, that is entirely up to you. What I would encourage you to do is to listen to it at the end of the month, because these messages are really limitless or timeless. There is really the principles that I ask to give can be applied to really any sign in any situation. So it is important for you to listen with an open heart and an open mind and see how it can help you. Of course, listening to the other signs may offer you more guidance, and above all, don't take anything that I say as gospel. Listen with your heart and allow yourself to feel whether it resonates with you or not. Sometimes I will say things that may trigger you. If that happens, it's a good indication that something inside of you is wanting to say something. So I'm just going to leave it as is. Also, if you are interested in a Uranus projection, it's a 7-month projection. That information is down below on the Vimeo page. And let me see if there's anything else. Thank you, of course, always for watching, for sharing, for subscribing, and for private sessions, if that is what you wish. That information is down below. Thank you again so much. Have yourself a wonderful holiday season if you are practicing it or if you are celebrating it. And I look forward to seeing you soon. Take care. Bye. Hello, beautiful Aquarian. These are going to be your messages for the month of December 2018. I almost said 19. All right. I have a feeling there's a powerful message coming to, and I feel the energy wanting to come out of you. So for some of you, you actually may, as I talk, you may have a tingling sensation in your body, or like an energy goes through you. Know that that's a powerful message that is affecting you energetically. Strength is something that is going to be addressed here, and particularly when it comes to having the strength to move on, or you understanding how strong you are. And I feel the month of December is going to allow you to fulfill those things, because for most of you, there is a new beginning hanging just around the corner. Now I'm getting a smile here that it is a new year, and I feel like this is a funny way of saying, look at things in your life right now. You're entering a period of newness, including a brand new year. It's time to take inventory of your actions and your reactions and see if there is some cleanup that needs to be done. And incidentally, I have cards that actually talk to this. There is a need for me to mention the word completion. As many of you already know and feel, you are moving through a process that may feel like you are at an end of something. You are completing a project, a physical work situation. You are completing a marriage, a union, a commitment, a years of school. Completion, you guys understand what completion means. It also implies to me that there is, in fact, a brand new beginning for many of you. And I'm being shown almost 60% of you who watch this, this will apply to. And it's funny because It's funny how Spirit shows me numbers, because I mean, it's such a precise thing. I don't know, for me, it's always very interesting. Anyway, let's move on to the messages. When I tuned into your energy, I very much felt the need to write the word equality and value. So I wrote equality and value, and then I wrote principles of life or principles for life. And it felt to me very much like many of you need to understand the importance of the value you assign to yourself in order to live a fulfilling life, one that's filled with predominantly good things and feelings versus one that is not so great. Now, life is called life for a reason. It has its ups and downs. So there is no way for any one of us to get away from challenges. However, when we are primed a certain way, we will handle these challenges differently. So it's imperative for you to realize your own value. That also makes you a powerful person. Importance of understanding and knowing equality and value for yourself in order to live a fulfilling life. Okay, so that's basically what I just said. So let's move on with the cards. I feel this is a very powerful month for many of you, December. I want to go as far as mid-January, but I feel December is full of things, not good or bad, just intense. So the card that represents your month is protecting treasure. And what I feel about this card is, or this message is, that what needs to be addressed, for those of you who are listening, and this applies to, where you do things in life out of fear of not having safety. Do you compromise yourself in order to stay in a certain environment, or be with a certain person, or be at a certain situation? There's a need for you to see and notice if you have not been spending a lot of time compromising compromising for something to get you what you want, which is safety and security. And some of you may have been falsely accused of being, what's the word I want to use? A gold digger, an opportunist, somebody who takes advantage of somebody else in order for their own gain. But the gain is predominantly feeling of safety and security that comes from lack. So obviously I'm not saying every single one of you is like this, but that's just an example. That's a drastic example that's being given to you. None of you may, but it's just an example that illustrates the point. If I am speaking to you, if you are hearing this, chances are there are some things in your life that you have been over-compromising, many of you for years, in order to achieve this idea or illusion of safety and security. And as a result, you tend to feel unhappy and feeling like you're missing on life, which is very interesting because I have the time component here, which I didn't quite understand until now. So this is the energy for the month of December. It is to feel and tune in if that is the case for you. And we'll talk about the reasons why, but I think the reasons would be obvious. Blind enthusiasm and progressive desires, these cards are essentially mean the same thing. But I will go through them separately. The first message here is, do you have a tendency to do things, again, to get something, and you are not considering the consequences long term, and also you're not considering how your actions will affect other people. And I feel like I've said this to another sign, so check if that is also one of your signs. Notice if you have a tendency to do that, to go blindly after what you want, but you're not paying attention to how your actions affect you long term and others. Very important message. Progressive desires is all about either making decisions too hastily, or not making decisions and changes at all, which is impulsivity. You're either too impulsive or you're stuck and you don't want to change. And somehow all this is floating around the idea of value and responsibility of self. And what I feel here is that for those of you who feel like you're running out of time, you're running against time, you have the time message here, time is not on your side. Maybe you're thinking you're too old to be happy, you're too old to get a new job, you're too old to whatever it is that the time component has you in a bind, like it restricts you. It's time to address this. I hope I'm being clear here. All of this is predominantly to do with your belief systems. The message of building blocks in reverse is all about looking at your foundation and noticing the things in it that keep you stuck, keep you feeling a certain way, keep you overcompromising, keep you being impulsive, or keep you stuck and not moving with life. Whatever that is, and it will apply to each and every one of you differently, it's time to address those. When I asked what this is affecting you the most, what areas, we have Three of Cups in reverse, we have the Lovers in reverse, and we have Ten of Swords in reverse. So the good news is, not that there is a bad news, the good news is you are at the end of a cycle. Yay! And that was said at the beginning. The other good news is that what you're feeling now is not something that you'll be feeling forever or even for too long. This is not a prediction of what will be. This is showing me where you're at now. So mentally speaking, you might feel like you're at the end of your rope. You might feel you were stabbed in the back at some point, and perhaps that's why you're holding on to things and you are just moving after safety and security, not really thinking about how it affects you long term. You may also energetically feel like you're done. I feel like I'm done. I'm tired. So this also signifies that for the month of December, you may want to take good care of yourself. That could be as simple as applying lotion on your body after you shower or have a bath. Some of you really need to do that because your skin is dry. Or it means more elaborately, taking care of your emotional needs by putting yourself first. Now, you may be saying, well, I put myself first when I do things for security. Well, actually, you don't. What you do is overcompromise, so you let other people dictate their how it's going to be, and you, because you need safety and security, accept it and you move on. So that's actually an interesting twist. So see if that applies to you. Very, very interesting. Spa is being highlighted. Maybe for some of you're dealing with a relationship where you're always overcompromising, where you're always putting other people first, or you're doing things without thinking because you're being driven by something in your background that says you're not good enough or something. So you may ask for a spa arrangement or a spa certificate or a massage certificate for Christmas or for holidays if you celebrate. Point is, looks like the month of December, you might be feeling like, okay, I'm done with this, and you're moving on. The Lovers in reverse, for many of you, you will understand this as a relationship. Not being on the same page with somebody. yes, that is the case for some of you. So this means that what I'm speaking of has to do with a relationship. And because you are no longer on the same page with another, and this could be a partnership that's not a marriage. This could be a business relationship. This could be a relationship with a family, a child. Generally, lovers that's not what it means, but it's relationship, and also relationship with you. So for some of you, you've been dealing with a situation where things are just not working out, and you're in a process of coming to an end of a cycle, like was mentioned before, and me seeing something, a new beginning for you early on next year. It's time to address all these things that we're mentioning so that you don't repeat the same mistake again. Notice I say mistake in quotation marks, because really there is no such thing as mistake, except not to our human thinking. If we continually make the same things and don't learn from them, then yes, we can call it a mistake. So it is important for many of you to address this now. The Three of Cups is obviously, to me, it speaks of betrayal, emotional betrayal. But this just could also mean that you are no longer on the same page with a group of people. It could be with a family, it could be a friendship. It could be any one of those things. You have thoughts and you have emotions combined together, creating a very powerful energy for change. And this may also mean that because the reason why you are predominantly doing things out of safety, and you do things hastily just to stay safe, or you overcompromise, or any one of those things, that at some point long time ago you felt betrayed, and as a result you felt very unsafe, and now you are creating your life based on that belief. And another situation that's being shown to me, you may have had parents who perhaps divorced, or you've experienced betrayal. You've experienced pretty unfortunate situations in their marriage, and you grew up with the idea that life is one big chaos. So naturally, you would want to create everything opposite of that, which is complete stability and safety. So, but again, being fueled by a fear of safety and security, it's not coming from a place of peace. What I'm trying to say is, some of you may have witnessed growing up unfortunate situations that then made you believe the world at large is not safe, and therefore, in order for you to ensure safety, you overgive, you overcompromise, you overdo things, because you don't come from the place of having it. It's not a familiar thing to you, so you work hard for it. And the point is, you shouldn't have to. You shouldn't have to work hard for safety in a relationship. You shouldn't have to work really hard for feeling safe and secure. Now, I am not saying that you shouldn't have to go to work and your work happens to be physically hard. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, we work hard to gain safety because we believe we don't have it. And that is not a place of equality or value inside of us. So now it's coming full circle, and I can clearly see what the idea of equality and value as principles of life, I now understand what this means. Hugely important to recognize the reasons why things are why they are. You have the message card, the message of why in reverse. And what this is saying to me is, some of you are resisting change. Well, predominantly because change is uncomfortable. But some of you resist change by not focusing what is real and choosing to live in your illusion. Now, this is going to mean different things to different people. I'm literally just channeling. This message speaks to those who choose to do the same thing over and over and then complain about it not being different, and not wanting to take ownership of what is they're doing that contributes to that situation, that way of life, that way of feeling, not from the point of view of blame, never from the point of view of blame, but from the point of view of a greater level of understanding yourself so that you can make your life different if you choose to, in a positive way. Refusing to not to know, it's like saying, I don't want to learn, I just want to stay where I am. Well, the world keeps on moving. If you stay where you are, it's going to become a problem. You're not going to be able to relate. In other words, you cannot close yourself off to knowing what's important. You can only deny the possibility that it's there. So for those of you who stubbornly insist that life happens to you, I would really like you to consider the idea that you are a powerful creator, that you are so powerful, in fact, that everything that is in your life you have created in some shape or form. And although this is something that may be very difficult for many to understand on a logical level, it is in fact something that, energetically speaking, is the absolute truth, because it is proven scientifically that energy creates matter. Thoughts is energy. What you create is matter. Thoughts create matter. Your thoughts create your reality. Therefore, what you think matters. So ask yourself this question. What beliefs do I hold about myself and life that draw me to this situation or that attract this situation to me? So if you are struggling with lack of love in your relationship, let's say, for example, and this is what you have been feeling for a while, in other words, it is consistent, perhaps you want to ask yourself this question, and perhaps the answer might be, well, for one, you're not listening to your true nature. You're not listening to your intuition. You are instead listening to your fear, which tells you you're not safe. Therefore, you have to compromise to get your illusion of safety. But the compromising is you have no emotional connection to this person. So that's one very drastic example. There's millions of examples that I could give. So when you examine those beliefs, you may realize that you grew up in a home where you witnessed your parents at each other's throats all the time, and you were the witness. Clearly, that may not have been comfortable for you. You grew up not feeling safe, and as a result, you fearing that is the world, or the case with world at large, you seek safety somewhere else, like in a relationship that doesn't really fulfill you, other than it gives you the illusion of safety. So in other words, there's a part of you that believes this is true. There's a part of you that have experienced this feeling and it deemed to be important to keep it forever. In other words, it became your truth. Your truth is what propels your thoughts. Your thoughts create matter. Therefore, we're coming full circle. You need to address what is inside of you that creates this matter. In other words, there's a fundamental lack of safety within you. Not because you are being punished, not because you need to blame yourself, but because you need to understand that in order to deal with whatever it is you want to deal with. If you are hoping for a different feeling, you need to find your foundation right now and where your current feeling comes from. Again, what are you overcompromising to keep safe? Do you perhaps put other people on pedestal to keep yourself safe? Why would one do that? That's an interesting question. Well, if you are putting others on pedestal, you are right away deeming yourself not as equal. And That comes from a place of lack inside. Well, you come presumably from a home where lack was the predominant thing, or lack was in abundance, and that's an oxymoron. So this is something for you to contemplate. Learning to nurture is a message to me that screams value. Learning to nurture is really about learning how to love. Not how to love somebody else per se, because you're pretty good at that. It is how to love yourself first and then give love to another. Not as a means of making someone happy, but as a means of contributing to their happiness. And therefore, you are equally not looking for someone to make you happy or make you safe. They in turn contribute to your safety and your happiness you have inside. So it becomes a balanced scale. If you come from a place of lack inside yourself, you will have difficulty taking care of your own emotional needs first. If you come from lack inside of yourself, you will not think of yourself as good enough, as highly, as important, as valuable, or as equal. And therefore, in order for you to achieve what you want, you will feel like you have to constantly do things that are not aligned with your true value. Well, if your value of you is you are not enough, you know how it goes. You will attract something to you that will feel very similarly the same. And I'm being asked to wrap it up. The number 27 is just shown to me. Several things I want to say to this. 27th might be an important day for you. Perhaps December 27th might be an important day for you. Perhaps something with the number 27. Somebody remembers 27. Also, choices and decisions coming up for some of you, and I feel you either make those choices and decisions in July, or they will transpire in the month of July. Remember, I said at the beginning that many of you are entering a brand new cycle, let's call it that way, which means you are ending your current one. Many of you will feel this in various different ways. Some of you have been feeling this for a while. Some of you have been dealing with this for a while. This is not something that will happen. This is something that's already happening. Chances are, when you hear this, you will be able to apply it in your life to some situation, and you will be able to draw your own conclusion. What I really would urge you to truly give yourself as the most magnificent gift this Christmas, if you celebrate it, if you don't, give yourself a gift anyway. It's the gift of learning how to listen to and trust your own intuition. For your intuition will never dissuade you from something good or sway you away from something good. Your intuition is like your Siri. It speaks to you. It's your truth. You first need to find the way to hear it, and also learn to decipher between your intuition and your fear. And that takes time, and that takes effort, and that takes baby steps that over time become your normal way of being. When you listen to your intuition, you are true to yourself always. Sometimes you'll have trouble with it, and that's okay. We compromise in life. It's meant to be that way. But when you become in tune with who you are, you are going to feel less likely the way you feel right now. And I'm talking about if you feel stuck, if you've been dealing with something uncomfortable, if you've been trying to get rid of a pattern, if you've come up to a point of your life and you're like, I'm done, this is a message for you. And with that said, I wish you best of luck. Take care of yourself. Please take care of yourself. Learn how to nurture yourself. Learn how to nurture your needs, and then others will complement that in you. Otherwise, it doesn't work. And I hope you have a very fulfilling month of December. Thank you again so much. For private sessions, of course, that information is down below. Do listen to it a few times. I always hear from you that at the end of the month or even beginning of next, this makes perfect sense. But I feel many of you will be able to hear this and resonate with this. And if not, then it's not for you. Your other signs might also give you a little bit more information to this puzzle. Thank you again so much. Good luck. Take care of yourself, and bye for now.